set some house rules before we move forward, before we do anything. Let me set some house rules. If anybody is transphobic tonight, you're getting kicked out. If anybody is transphobic tonight, you're getting kicked out. If anybody coming with the ignorance and the bigotry and just negative energy because we're speaking about trans people and a trans person, y'all getting kicked out. Now, either you could leave peacefully or I'm gonna kick you out, okay? This is a love room. We start each and every live show in the chat with the hearts up in the room because this is a love room. Y'all see the OGs in here know exactly what's going on. What's up, Shenandoah? First comment. Hi, I hope it's Daisha or Dacia. I'm not sure which way to say that. Hey, Barty, what's up? And Deidre, how y'all doing? Y'all know damn well this is a love room. We are not doing transphobia this evening. We are not being transphobic this evening. We will respect people's identities because that's the standard on this channel and on this video tonight and going forward forever and ever. Cool? Cool. What's up, everybody? It is JustLatasha back again with a live dissection Monday nights, every Monday night, 6 p.m. EST, right here live on your TV screens. I'm excited about tonight because this episode gave me so much more to work with than that Rue episode. I don't know if they was just, for the Rue episode, just trying. Do you know what I mean? Like they were just trying, like they were testing it and then they found their groove here, but they gave me so much more to work with this one. And I'm happy because a bitch likes to eat. Okay, mentally that is. Welcome to the channel. Let's start off this video by subscribing. Hit that notification bell so you guys are aware of when I make new content. And give this video a thumbs up. Let YouTube know you love the content that you see here. That helps me so much as a creator when you guys share it, when you guys like it, when you guys alter that algorithm to help me expand my work. Okay, I see in the live chat, super chats are always welcome, not forced, not asked for, but if you so believe in your heart that I deserve, go on and hit your girl with $1 or $2. We're gonna have fun tonight. We have such a large conversation tonight. Low key, we might go over the hour. I just estimate that because we have such a big conversation tonight. Follow me on social media at this point. JustLatasha on Instagram, JustLatasha404 on Twitter. Become a Patreon. Yo, what I'm hitting y'all with this week on Patreon, next 2 weeks, is crazy. Okay? Because I really love the people that go, I love all y'all. It's a love room. We said that. But the people that go above and beyond to spend the extra time with me, to support me in extra ways, I give to you profoundly, with gratitude, greatly, abundantly. You hear me? So let me tell y'all the stuff that y'all do not want to miss. Patreon.com/JustLatasha. Let me tell you what's happening. I've heard my patrons say more than once they missed my old show, Boozy Brunch Sunday. Now, Boozy Brunch Sunday, we talk about Black culture topics of the week. So for a special edition, since there's hella Sundays in this month, I'm giving y'all an extra show. I'm giving you guys a special edition of Boozy Brunch Sunday this Sunday. We're going to be talking about Danny Lay and her Yellowbone song. We're going to be doing the review and the critique of Hotels by Jasmine Sullivan because as much as I enjoy the album, there are things to address. And more. And I'm not doing it by myself. I'm bringing some incredible friends with me. You guys have seen this one on my channel. She's a beauty influencer. She's a brilliant mind. She's a voice for allies, just like myself, and she's powerful at what she does. Check her out on Instagram, Simi Moonlight, a personal friend of mine, a mind you want to hear from. Trust me on that. I'm also being joined by my personal friend, Court Kim, who just dropped an article today on Rap Radar because she interviewed and profiled Van Jess. It's lit over here, okay? Those two will be joining me for a special episode, a live stream this Sunday only on Patreon. Do not miss it. Do not miss it. Do not miss it. The following Sunday. Okay, listen. I am dissecting Malcolm and Marie, the new Netflix movie starring Zendaya and John Washington. I'm only dissecting that live on Patreon, Sunday, February 7th. Guess who's joining me? Guess who's joining me, bitch? Guess who's joining me? another personal friend of mine, powerful, powerful woman, educator, public speaker, and you guys know and love her from the Grapevine TV, Aisha K. Faines, who is going to educate us on the power dynamics between men and women, between older men and younger women, because we know that age gap was a topic of conversation. Who's going to teach us the laws of femininity and how women could step up into their power when engaging with men, platonically, professionally, or romantically. Aisha K. Faines is the one. And she's only joining me live on patreon.com/JustLatasha Sunday, February 7th. Baby, I give. You hear me? I give you whatever y'all give me, I give y'all 10 times more. That's what this is. It's a love room. Again, for the people who are just joining, if anyone's transphobic, you will be kicked out. You can leave peacefully if you don't like what I'm saying, or I'm gonna do it myself. We will only be showing love to all identities in this room. Are we understood? Making sure that's clear. Let's see who else is here, y'all. Thank you for throwing hearts up in the chat. I see Warren in here. What's up? I see Momi, who stops here very often. Who says my eyebrows were raised when watching the Jules episode. I was surprised when they went that deep. Oh, we're going deep tonight, y'all. We really are. Shenandoah, who's often here. What's up to you? Kudos to Hunter for co-writing the fuck out of this. We should say that this was Hunter Schafer's first time writing, and she joined Sam Levinson to do it, and we got this. Whoa, bitch! If that's your first time, who? How dare you? The talent abounds. LB a patron. What's up, boo? Man, Victoria's here. All right, what's up? Khaled is a patron. We in here. What's up? What's up? Dak Heads with the golden hearts. Thank you so much for that. Vibrant Who says Aisha is the one and the two, and don't you forget it. Let's jump right in tonight. As we ready? The Euphoria special episode, part 2, Jules, played by none other than Hunter Schafer. Y'all know I love me an opening shot. Now, this is the third time we're revisiting Euphoria in the frame of a dissection, because I dissected Euphoria, the pilot, and I dissected the Rue episode, and now we're here. And when I dissected the Euphoria pilot, I showed you guys an image. It was that long exposure transition where we had Rue's face and the drugs that she loves laying on top of her Galaxy computer laptop. And this is showing you right here and right now what she loves more than anything in the world is that feeling of nothingness, that space between living and dying, that not breathing. None of her mental illnesses affect her. She does the drugs to hit that very sweet spot every time to hit her euphoria. So whenever we see this color scheme, the blues, the purples, this galaxy, that is directly tied to the character's euphoria, where they are in their pure moment of bliss and happiness. So we start here with our opening shot. We're hyper focusing on Jules with this beautiful portrait shot. And we hear the first lines. Why'd you run away? Well, what were you reacting to? And Jules just can't. She cannot go there. I don't want to talk about it, right? And we go into this beautiful shot of just her eye revisiting these flashbacks of everything we've seen in season 1. And of course, those euphoria colors popping up, blue, purple, blue, purple, blue, purple. We see the moments that made her the most happy compared to where she is now. She ain't there, right? And here's a dichotomy of this euphoria. Here's what happens with each and every character. What made her happy the most, what made Rue happy the most, is also the exact thing that makes them absolutely miserable. Because there ain't no way, even though this drug makes you feel good, that's not serving you, hun. That's not serving you at all, right? And so Jules here, looking through her eyes, seeing all the things that she treasured, these memories, she ran away from it. She totally ran away from her euphoria. And is this her trying to escape from the healing? Is her escape healing, right? And though it doesn't feel good to leave what makes her euphoric, she has to make this choice. She has to opt out, right? And she can't even speak about what she's reacting to, what she's running from. She can't even talk about it. overlaid by the song Liability by Lorde, which as we dive into this dissection, we want to ask questions. Who's liable? Who's at fault? Who did it? So let's move further in, all right? Now, I want to say this. I am a cisgendered person. I agree and align with the sex, the biology of the body that I was born into. I agree that my female body is my woman gender. I am cisgendered. If you are a person who does not misalign from the body you're born in, you are cisgender, okay? And what it is our job to do as cisgender people is to not discuss the particulars of trans bodies. We do not discuss their genitalia. We do not discuss what they look like. We do not discuss whether we agree they're transforming right. That's not our place. That's not what we do. And we're actually not going to do that here and tonight. Let's all avoid transphobia, because right here and right now, we need to discuss Jules wanting to end the use of her hormones. Now, this is a very interesting part here because she hadn't thought about anything further than that. She hadn't given any thought to what it would be like and what would happen to her and her experience if and when she detransitions, right? And this just proves what we've seen all season one, that Jules is hella impulsive. Like, she doesn't quite want to detransition, but she wants to stop using the hormones. And she's just rapidly deciding, okay, no more estrogen. That's it. And this is just another impulse, just the same way that she wanted to run away with Rue to New York. Let's just get on the train after this dance party. But okay, but then what? Like what? And she never thinks of that next step. She has to be here in the moment. And here's where she lit my ass on fire. I like this. I framed my entire womanhood around men. And a lot of cisgender women do that too, but we're going to drag us a little later. I framed my entire womanhood around men. And this is something that I spoke about in my Euphoria pilot dissection. What was Jules' Euphoria? It was her entire performance of femininity, the tights, the little skirt, the pinks and the fluffies and the little backpack. She loved the entire process of it. And I posed the question then, do she even like sex? It didn't look fun. The sex she was having did not look good or fun, like at all. So I was like, so what is all of this for, right? And I believe Rue at a certain time even asked her, like, so you're hooking up all the time, like, is that it? Like, do you like that? Or she's like, no, it's not even about like the sex. It's all the moments leading up to it, you know, the talking, the getting to know, the coin. She loves that entire process. So the one thing she likes more than the hookup is the desirability leading to the hookup, which, let me tell you guys something, wanting to be desirable is not bad. Okay, it only becomes bad when you completely lose yourself to serve somebody else's expectations of you. That's when desirability becomes a harm rather than a normal feeling. We want to be desirable. I would love to be attractive to men and women. I would love that, right? But I can't lose myself in the process. So here's the crux where Jules is at. She must figure out her identity outside of the framework of desirability / proximity to femininity. And she says this: I'm no longer interested in what men want. To be honest with you, Jules is giving Aquarius. I don't know how y'all feeling about it. Jules is giving Aquarius. She flighty as hell. She's giving air sign. So I wanted to jump into the audience right here. And let's think about how we're speaking about a trans person. Please keep that in mind. Please read the room. If Jules were to stop her hormones, knowing that she wants to distance herself from having to please the expectations of men, what would that mean in finding her identity? What would stopping her hormones mean in finding the answer to who she is outside of the desirability of men? How would stopping her hormones lead her to that that conclusion. A. Barty said, when she said what men want is boring, Lord. Oh, let me guess. Ass, titties. Oh, you want me to be quiet? What? Is there anything else? Men don't like when I say I'm a little deeper than what you asking me for. They don't like that. They ain't like that. I thought that too. Dak Kaz says Aquarius with water and earth placements. I thought that exact thing today. Okay, y'all agree she's Aquarius. I'm telling you. So what we think, y'all, how would her stopping her hormones mean finding the answer to her identity? We think in a night. I don't know what y'all came here for. Let's start with Khaled. I don't think it's an answer. It feels like settling with what people expect from her, settling for easy. LB says it's a control thing. I think that's the only thing she feels she can control. Okay, whether or not she's going to change what she physically looks like. That is one thing that she can control. Very interesting. Ben A says, okay, I'm not reading Ben A. Never mind. Dak Heads, maybe she try and embody the men she viewed through her eyes. I wonder what you mean by that. Ilana Filu, I hope I'm saying that right, which it feels wrong coming out of my mouth. Removing her typical female desirability to see who she is beyond that. And I want to stay right here. I'm going to stay right here because, did I write it here? I might say it later, but it's a really powerful moment of dialogue. And she says this. Without the self-criticism, I'd be lost. And the therapist says, or free. Both are scary feelings. Without the self-criticism, I'd be lost or free. Both are scary feelings. Sam Levinson, I want to smack your mama. How the hell you come up with that? And Jules feels that her avatar, her body, what she presents as, is a collection of all the people she's met along the way. And here's the gag for trans people, for cisgender people. We're all performing acceptable versions of ourselves. We all want to be desirable, liked, accepted, so we can have an easier life. We see the way people treat people who don't fit in, who don't fit the mold. And so I really like the answer, removing her typical desirability to see who she is beyond it. Because what would happen if you stop using your own experience to serve what other people want? How about you dare to exist outside of the performance? Then who is that? Ugh. So let's get to Rue. And in the process, let's drag the cisgender girls real quick. And that includes me, okay? Most girls automatically compare themselves to you and search for where you fit in their hierarchy and treat you accordingly. This is what cisgender girls do to trans girls. Does she look like a woman, like a natural woman? Are her hands big? I'm trying to clock that Adam's apple. I want to see that jawline. I want to see how, when y'all start doing that, and then the cis girls start to mistreat trans girls because of the way they physically look. Or Hunter Schafer, when she goes out and does these Euphoria promotions, she understands that she has privilege because of the femininity she performs, and she's skinny and tall and delicate and blonde and white. Hunter is very, very, very aware of that. But when trans girls don't have the access, or when trans girls don't choose to present in the femininity the way that cisgender women approve of, the way that cisgender men approve of, you start being real mean to them. In the form of violence, bigotry, oppression. That includes you Black and brown folk who think you so oppressed that you can't do it to others. Y'all do it all the time. Cisgender girls try to clock trans girls, and we got to dead that. We need to end that today and now, okay? Because trans bodies are not up for our approval. They're not up for anybody's approval. It takes a Jules to be like, this is who I am and I exist, period. Y'all can get on and get left. That is really it. And Jules is explaining here that she doesn't feel seen. She feels ogled at. Y'all checking what I'm wearing. Y'all checking the tags on my clothes. Y'all checking like what I look. Y'all doing all of this. And Rue is the first girl that saw her. And we see Rue and this beautiful warm yellow sunshine light up both of their faces. Now, this is not Euphoria. We don't see the blues and the purples and all of that. This is not Euphoria, but this memory serves something so warm, and nice, and familiar that it gives her a break. Even if it's not where she exactly wants to be at, it gives her the break to breathe and exist. This memory, right? And Rue looked at Jules the way a mom would. And Jules says, all you had to do was exist. Remember this line because we'll be right back to it. Rue looked at Jules the way a mom would. All you have to do is exist. Baby, this is how you do backstory. Now we know why Jules is all over the place. It's making it so clear, right? This informs all of the thoughts and actions that your character takes now because of all this mess that happened back then. And this exploring Jules was so exciting in this episode. My screen went black. Can y'all see me? Momi says, Jules thought that her physicality would bring her closer to who she really is. I can't say if she's right or wrong for contemplating detransitioning. For some, it was what they felt they needed to do. And that's very important. Let the individual person make the best decision for them, and the rest of us are going to mind our business. And that's the problem. A lot of us ain't minding our business. Let them do what they want that best serves them, okay? All right. So here we see baby Jules. Another rule of tonight, we do not dead name trans people. We do not dead name trans folks. I love the fact that we have absolutely no idea what Jules' birth name is because it's not important and it's none of our business, okay? Jules also gets into a very important part here about the way she experiences puberty and what happens to her body. And I'm not going to critique it. I'm actually not going to bring it to this room in this conversation because as a cisgender person, there's no way I can offer an opinion. It's not my space. It's not my experience. It's not my place. So this is our moment to listen. When you do experience and watch this episode, that is your moment as a cisgender person to listen, to be quiet, to accept, move on, period. That's it. So what I do want to pay attention to here are the color themes that we're going to start to lean into, right? We see a baby photo of Jules who is dressed in blue. And we have Jules here, beautiful smile, and this sunshine yellow. So these are the two colors that we're really going to be attending to tonight. And Jules says something so powerful. Transness is spiritual. It's mine. It belongs to me. So I think we've sort of landed on an answer of some sort. And here's what I'm concluding. Please come up with your own theories. She wants to go off her hormones because her body ultimately feels like this big performance. And she goes into this whole monologue about how much she loves the ocean because it's big and deep and thick. It is both masculine and feminine, and she prays to it. So she wants to be like the ocean, masculine, feminine, strong, soft, deep, thick. She prays to it. Well, if she wants to pray to something that she sees herself as, she'd be praying to herself because she'd be honoring herself because transness is spiritual and it's hers and it belongs to her. She'd be honoring herself had she become like the ocean. And if she goes off her hormones and her body disappoints you, that'd be your problem and your problem only. It would have nothing to do with her. She becomes the person she wants to be, period. The power. Bitch, the power. Okay. Shenandoah. Yes. A lot of deities are often referred to as both genders. Not to bring this up because I do stand Lovecraft Country, but that was what they were trying to get at with the Yahima character, the two-sex spirit, right? Native American, tribal-based, original deities. They did it wrong, but that's what they were trying to get at, all right? Whenever you see a trans person or a trans identity, you do not, the first thing that shouldn't come out of your mouth, what are you? And that was a misstep, okay? That was a misstep. So here we go. Jules says this whole thing, this is about staying alive. Let's look back into our Euphoria colors again, right? And we see this memory of a scene we did see in season 1, but these two girls are shot in totally different frames because they are disconnected, right? Rue representing the purple of the Euphoria, Jules representing the other side of the Euphoria, the blue, but they're separated. So here's the thing. Jules needs to be on the move all the time. She says standing still feels like death. It feels like I will die. But Rue is dependent on Jules because their love avoids Rue's death. So I need to love you in order to be alive, but I need to leave so I can be alive. So I'm wondering just out loud how the death of this relationship serves both of their lives. Because Jules can't contact Rue, Rue's not quite responding, and Rue's back on drugs. And is this them living this new experience of not being together? And Jules says she felt the weight of Rue's sobriety on her shoulders. So this euphoria is harming them both. This moment that makes them so happy, this moment that they're both chasing makes them miserable. It makes them sick. So they say this thing that they love so much is their lifeline. How? How? All right. Callie said something funny and I missed it. I can't keep up. I can't keep up. I'm gonna be in the chat. I'm gonna go right here because I'm gonna talk to y'all real quick. I'm gonna go right here. Whoo, baby, let's get into these colors. Let's get into these colors where we finally meet Jules' mom. And Jules asked this question about Rue. What if she relapses because I'm not there? Well, I had a response question, and we just gone hold it in our minds. I had a response question. What if loving Rue is Jules's redemption arc? Hold it, put it in your lap and hold it. What if loving Rue was Jules's redemption arc? Hold that. I want to dive into the color schemes real quick. We have Jules holding Rue and they're coated in this beautiful, warm yellow versus when she sees her mother disconnected, 2 separate seats, right? Mother's in the back, unconscious. And you get into that blue. And then we had that image that we saw where we had baby Jules and current Jules, baby Jules in blue, current Jules in yellow. And we could see where the wounds are starting to meet back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, because Rue is the love that Jules has now, this yellow, versus the love she had from her mother back then, the blue. I'm gonna go here with it. Jules could only access her mother's love when she was in her biological body. We have to remember her mother was the one who sent her to a mental facility when she first started to explore and examine her transness. Her mother sent her away. Once she started that new journey, her mother cut off the love. So we had baby Jules in blue back when mama was loving her. And after she transitioned, we had Rue introducing a new love to her and meeting her in yellow. GTE says, I love when the therapist's clock tell Jules sees Rue and the mother in the same way. Ugh. So I want y'all, knowing what we know, I want y'all to fill in this blank. Knowing what we know, jumping into the audience, I want to see who puts 2 and 2 together. When Jules loses Rue, she wants to get off her hormones. What do we conclude? Because we asked that question earlier. What would losing the hormones mean for Jules? Well, when she loses Rue, she wants to get off her hormones. Let's put 2 and 2 together because I know y'all see it. I'll wait. Shenandoah says, we often fall in love or attract people who remind us of our parents. Maybe Rue gives Jules the love her mother couldn't. We like that. We like it. No, but lean in, y'all. When she loses Rue's love, she wants to get off her hormones. Fill in the blank. Shannon, Double, why you deleted it? I liked it. LB says she connects the hormones with the loss of love. That could be what's the word I'm looking for? That could be a derivative of what the wound is. Let's see where else should I go with it. Mostly Mosey, welcome back, says accessing love. Dad Cat says she's trying to feel the void back with the love her mother gave by going off the pills. You're right on it, Dad Kaz. You're right there. First, last. I think YouTube took your name away. She feels like Rue doesn't see her the way a mother should anymore. What do you mean by that? Expand. Mostly Mosey says outside the fantasy. Dad Kaz is the closest. She's trying to fill the void back where the love her mother gave her by going off the pills. You're right there. A. Barty says that would open her to receive that unconditional love her mother gave her before she transitioned. Okay? Look. I think y'all got it, but we're saying slightly different words, but I think y'all got it. So after their love breaks, Rue and Jules split. They don't have the love that they need, right? They lose that euphoria. Rue goes back to her old love, drugs. Think about who was giving Jules love before the transition, that Blue, right? So Jules needs to go back to her old love. Blue, mama. I think y'all said it. We said it slightly differently. After this love breaks, Rue goes back to her old love, drugs. Jules wants to go back to an old version of love, but she doesn't have the language for saying, I want my mama to love me, but she knows the person her mama did love, so take me off them hormones. But she didn't have the language. She didn't know why, right? She didn't think any further than, I think I'll just get off my hormones. I don't really know why. Because if you can go back to that person that your mama loved, maybe that'll show up and fill that gap that Rue can't give you right now. She didn't have the language. She doesn't even know that she's asking for the love that Rue is supposed to cover up. Trying to go back. So this sequence here, where we see this big blue pillow right behind Rue as she's helping Jules inject her hormones, changing her body from what her mother used to love, right? Rue's here, I got you. We're going to get over that blue love. We're going to get over that. And so now we've discovered a new place. This love between you and I, this yellow. Don't worry, I got it. I'll take care of that. But baby, all you have built was a trauma bond. All you have built was a trauma bond. Yes, Shenandoah, she wants to go back to the body where she was loved by her mother, and she's trying to rewrite the past. Great. Deidre says, that was what I was trying to get at. I knew he was there, but I was trying to tie us all together. I knew y'all was there. But look at these wounds here. We know what the color red means here on this channel, right? Look at these wounds here. Rue is a wound. Jules' mother's addiction is a wound. So I ask again, I bring it back here. What if loving Rue is Jules's redemption arc? Because what if it's the solve, if it's the healing to the resentment to how she felt about her mother? These words are so hard to say tonight. She rejected her mother. She sent her mother away. She didn't want to bond with her mother. And there's a guilt there, right? Like, I reject you. So what if I could love an addict this time? I'm going to make a different decision so I could free myself from that guilt from rejecting my mother the way she rejected me. And so now we have a question. Does she resent Rue's addiction as she resents her mom? And y'all said this earlier in the chat. GTE says, my question is, does the mother want her to detransition now? It appeared in the last scene with the mom was her trying to make amends. I don't believe her mother is concerned about her gender and her identity anymore. I think it is just simply about healing and having her daughter back. I think that's purely what it is. But mama has a big apology to do way beyond this addiction, because she messed up before all that. She messed up before, big time before all that. Momi says she feels like there's no way for a person to love her the way that she is now. She even said as much when she said that she was surprised Rue loved her. We're going to get to that. We are going to get to that. Khaled says Jules went missing / ran away from Rue, like how her mother, who she loves like Rue, went missing on her. So if she detransitions, she might get her back. Trying to solve two birds with one stone. If I detransition, Rue will love me, and I might get the love that my mama was trying to give me. But this is a trauma bond, y'all. We see the color we see the color parallels between her loving Rue and her rejecting her mother. That red wound, right? And that blue color making an appearance. So again, here's the thing about the Euphoria colors, that their happiness, their euphoria, is also something that deeply wounds them. This happiness stems from a deeper wound. And so again, we're having Jules perform femininity, which she thought is what made her happy, but this performance of femininity is the very thing that separated her from her mother. So now she's separating herself from this femininity performance, which leaves her super unclear about her identity. She rejects her mother's addiction, and just the way her mother rejects her femininity. This wound ties directly into what they think makes them happy. Baby, and then we have to face the reality. The sunlight is gone, right? Rue is injecting these hormones, and Jules is remembering this wonderful time. And then she overhears a conversation of Rue telling her mother about this addiction meeting that she has coming up. And she has to face the reality that I'm in love with an addict. And this is some painful parallels to my past with my mother being an addict. We see that sunlight, it's gone. That warm yellow is gone. It turns to that cold, hardened, distant blue. And Jules says, real life sucks. That reality hit her hard. So let's replace Rue. Let's replace the wound. Let's replace what hurts. Let's replace something that got a little too real. And right here, we have our midpoint in the episode. This is something that totally shifts our lead character's journey. This is a curveball that comes in to what their original plan was. So enter Tyler, AKA Shy Guy 118. And Jules gets into why she really loves online dating. And she says she really loves meeting people online because you can pretend to be anyone you want, right? And she needed a fantasy. She needed a distraction to soothe that reality of Rue that came crashing down. Rue, who reminded her of her original wound. Jules said maybe she's attracted to the letdown of it all, right? And here's something about a wound unhealed. It reoccurs as a cycle over and over and over until the lesson is learned. And because she never healed the failure of her mother's love, she only continues to engage in love that she can bank on will fail. And she says this: some of the most profound relationship I've had has been with people I've never met. So I want to jump into the chat here because we've been talking about the color theory. So I want to see, as we're meeting Shy Guy 118, what do we think the story here is with the colors? Notice the colors here. Think about it. Think about how you feel. Think about Jules' story. How do we dissect the colors and what's being said here in these shots? GTE says there is no redemption for Jules until Rue can be sober for herself because Rue is codependent. I'm going to get into that a little later. Faster. Callie says, seeing Nate in this episode made me mad. Will we ever know peace? That body. I'm sorry. He's a sociopath, right? But that body. Oh my God. Ciara says these shots represent a dark fantasy. I like it. That's yes. Yeah. How else are we feeling about these shots, guys? About these colors and what the story is. Khaled says Nate's text in white could mean being a clean slate for Jules as opposed to the men she usually deals with. Mariah says, F Nate Jacobs. that middle finger dance, gun shoot thing that Rue did, it lives in my head rent free. It lives in my head. It was the swaggiest thing I've seen in a long time. I loved it. I loved it. Asa says, this is jail. I'm going to lean into the fantasy, y'all. While every time we've seen Rue and Jules together covered in that beautiful yellow sunlight, yellow represents the fantasy, this false joy. As Rue once was. I needed to pretend for a while, right? And we saw those colors change when Rue was giving Jules her hormones, and it was this beautiful moment. But then you can hear Rue setting up her addiction meeting later, and Jules was like, oh, I don't like that, right? That sunlight left, yellow to blue. Yellow is this false joy. So as we move into the second shot here, we see Jules sitting really distant, far away in this dark hole, but it is filled with these euphoria colors, this blue, this pink, this purple. Because the reality of what was supposed to make her happy, Rue, doesn't now. It's distant, it's dark. So let's dive into the fantasy, right? Jules says this: half of every relationship is in my head. Fantasy, this yellow coating, these sparks of these euphoria color themes, right? It's in her head. Look at the difference between her celebrating Rue being clean for 2 weeks versus her meeting this faceless, anonymous Tyler guy. Look how cold and blue and dark and heavy the celebration is. Yay, Rue, you've been clean for 2 weeks. I love you. Congratulations. Look how dark it is now. Versus this joyful dream. If I could just touch Tyler, if I could just jump on my man, if I could just see him, they live in the light. This fantasy. And Jules has this moment where she realizes she's in love with Rue, and Rue finally kisses her. And Jules' first thought was, don't lose her. AKA, don't let this love fail. She's scared of that pattern that she's in. Don't let this love fail. And so we can ask what the real basis was of them even being together. What is it based on? Y'all said the word in the chat, codependency. I need to run away from my loss of identity and the abandonment of my mother's love with Rue. Rue says, that crack is whack. I'm gonna hit up my new girlfriend. What's good? I think it's an equal exchange of codependency, because if they don't have each other, they will fall apart in their old loves. That will break them. Whatever's waiting for them back there, that's going to break them. Jules asks, how could it be possible for Ruth to love me as much as I loved her? This is her waiting for her mother's rejection to show up. Ruth can't love me as much as I love her. I know it's not really going to be this thing. She's waiting for that shoe to drop. She's waiting for her mom to leave again. And this is the common theme with people that have been abandoned, right? They ultimately feel unlovable because someone once upon a time showed them something that made them feel like they were unlovable. They weren't worth staying for. You weren't worth staying for. And the gag is now and today, Rue's not hitting her back. You're not texting back. You're not calling me. We used to be on the phone for hours. I'm not even hearing from you. Rue's confirming the abandonment. Rue confirmed the abandonment. Elsa, they sure got to spend the night a lot. Elle says, it goes back to what she said about what men want is boring. Her fantasies with the men were simple. With Rue, that they were dynamic. Elle, great point. Think about all the sleepovers between her and Rue. All the things they've experienced together, hating Nate together, giving hormone shots, Rue letting her into her realness. All her and Tyler did was fuck. Oh, Elle, that was good. So you said you want to get away from what men want, but your full fantasy is giving into Tyler wants to fuck you, and soon. That's your full fantasy. Wow, Elle. Come on. I love y'all. I stand y'all. Wow. A. Barty says, so was Jules pushing away from Rue because of her addiction or because of her fear of rejection? All of it. And we're going to answer that later. Yes. All of it. Yes. Khaled says it becomes a game of who abandoned who. Let's lean into Tyler real quick. Remember, Khaled said that, y'all, who abandoned who. Let's lean into Tyler real quick before we come back around. The best sex Jules ever had was because it was purely imagination. Look how she's laying on her back down with Tyler in that yellow sunlight. Baby, it's not real. Look where she really at, in that cold, blue, distant room. The other half of her euphoria gaunt, right? We see that yellow in the room because she's getting ready to imagine and do this little play. So I want to go back to her original thought. She wants to be like the ocean. She prays to the ocean, powerful, feminine, masculine. But the best sex she's ever had was with herself. But she's given all credits to Tyler, but the best sex she's ever had was with her own imagination and her own body. But she's given all credits to Tyler. Now compare this with the way she usually has her actual sex, her one-night stands. It lacks passion. It lacks time. It lacks familiarity. It lacks attention to detail. This imagination, this moment with Tyler is what she wants, but ultimately doesn't think she deserves? And she says, whoever I was talking to doesn't even exist. Tyler abandons her. So, audience, if she continues to get into relationships that she knows is a dead end, is she abandoning herself? Who's abandoning who? If she continues to get into relationships that she knows is a dead end, is she abandoning herself? I don't know about y'all, where y'all been, who you been with, what your paths are, but let me tell you something about me. I've had to apologize for abandoning myself, allowing myself to get involved into situations and align with people who didn't care if I lived or died, who didn't care if I was okay, who didn't even bother to ask. That's me abandoning myself, not having boundaries, allowing people to use me, my mind, my body, my feelings, whichever way they wanted, no matter what my comfort or my joy was. That was me abandoning myself. So look at all these situations that Jules finds herself in. Who doing that to her? GTE says, how does the sex she had with the girl in the city figure into all this? I don't know. I don't know. Would love to see it in the chat. Here's the thing. Let's meet two separate things. Her dream versus her nightmare. We see that color red in there. Her dream versus her nightmare. If she goes after what she wants, her dream, Tyler, if he's real and this amazing love is waiting for her, that would mean she would have to abandon Rue and be the cause of Rue's death. But this is yellow. This is a fantasy. This is all in her mind. This narrative doesn't exist. But let's go here. The gag. If her dream comes true and Rue left on the train with her and came to New York and their plan worked out, she still risks Rue's overdose. If she has Tyler, she abandons Rue, Rue dies. If she loves Rue and they go to New York, Rue dies. Where the hell is the win? What does this love give? What are we fighting for? What do I get out of this? Yes, featuring a tweet when Hunter went on Twitter to ask questions, and I saw this amazing tweet. What do you think about the Euphoria parallels? Rue in that powerful scene banging on Fez's door to get those drugs, and he says no, and she's banging, open the door, open the door, open the door. You did this to me. Jules coming home in this nightmare that she had, where she bangs on the door, Rue, open the door, open the door, open the door. And Rue can't, because we may lose Rue. So where's the win? Jules' father surprises her with bringing her mom home, and he asks Jules to forgive her and try reopening the relationship. So I wanted to look at the colors here, right? As Jules sitting on her bed, she literally has a galaxy blanket. You can see this is Euphoria, right? And she's in this fantasy joy yellow dress. But she meets her mama, and she does not want this old love, this old blue love. Let me do this to y'all. Sometimes trauma becomes so familiar that healing looks scary. Sometimes trauma becomes so familiar that healing looks terrifying. We're afraid to trust the other side of what we know. Sometimes we've made a home in the darkness. I've been without you for so long. I've been without your love for so long. I know how to be this person. Who do I have to be when I let you back in? When I have to look at the wound that I spent all this time running from? Who is that person? I don't know her, so I won't try. I'm comfortable here. Even though it hurts and even though it kills me, even though it operates every thought and decision and action I make today, I'm not going to change because I know this. So I was asking, maybe can yellow shift? Can yellow mean something else? Because this is obviously not a fantasy. This is something that's happening. Could yellow mean hope? Would she try against everything her gut is telling her to avoid? You want me to do that again, Dad? Like, are you not getting that this is mom's pattern? I'm back, I'm clean, I'm cool, and she goes again? Why try? And Dad says, go downstairs and apologize. Even if it's not real, even if it's not real. The yellow dress. The hope and the fantasy that maybe it was different this time. She believed just for a little bit. Maybe it's different this time. So we have here Jules' nightmare that Rue dies in New York with her versus the very real reality. Her mother leaves and abandons her again. Their connection is again torn apart. So even when we're on the right track, if Rue came to New York and this is what we want and we have each other and this is the love that we fought for, they're doomed. Even if Jules forgives her mother and lets her back in her life and she decides to move forward, the mom goes away again, she's doomed. We're going to come back here from the top of the show. Rue looked at Jules the way a mom would. Whose mom? Rue looked at Jules the way a mom would. Where they at? Rue and her mom in these shots are looking at her the same way. They ain't looking at her because they ain't there. Rue looked at Jules the way a mom would. Yeah, the both of you are going to leave me. In whichever way you have it, the both of you are going to leave me. Oh, we love the dad. We love Jules' dad around here. We love Jules' dad around here, okay? So it's a color I haven't spoken about, but I want to pay attention to because it started to be more prominent as we move towards the end of the episode. Numbness, this color white, this neutral blank state. Let's go numb because this hurts too much. Where we started and she couldn't talk about why she ran and what she's reacting to. She couldn't even talk about it. Versus that Halloween night when we saw her and Rue and the other friend that I really like, dressed as Bob Ross, this Halloween night. This white angel. Where Jules finds out that her mom relapsed. Because Jules rejected that healing, that reconnection. Jules rejected it, so it made mom relapse. And this is the night she goes to a Halloween party with Rue and the friends. Now, when we saw this in season 1, this was the episode where we saw Jules break away from Rue for the first time, but all we had was Rue's POV. Jules is acting weird. What's up? All of this happened right before Rue rang the doorbell. My mom abandoned me and relapsed, and now I'm in love with an addict. What do? I ain't holding your hand tonight. I'm sorry. If I was Jules, I'm not holding your goddamn hand tonight. Is you crazy? I'm not holding your hand tonight. And Jules cleans up her feelings. She goes numb and she answers the door. She pretends to be happy for the night. What's up? compared to that white blank state we met her in that therapist's office, right? So here's the thing about Jules. Her whole goal in life is about being alive. She needs to move. She needs to feel. She needs to experience things. She needs to have these big experiences. But look at her living numbly. Her journey is about being alive, but look at her maneuvering all this time and space numbly. So I ask you, who was really behind that door in New York? Who was really behind that door in New York? In the words of Khaled Savage, who abandons who? Her dad is banging on this door. Open the door, open the door. The way Rue did, open the door. The way she did, open the door. If she continues to get into relationships that she knows is a dead end, is she abandoning herself? Is she abandoning herself? Rue returns. In the scene, Jules apologizes and Rue pretends not to be upset, even though she's shaking and crying and nervous in her dirty little chucks. She is the cutest thing ever. Last audience question of tonight's dissection. Where do we think these two are? That's it, Sierra. Yes. Where do we think these two are now? I like this point from GTE. Jules actually said that Rue looked at her the way a mom does to a baby. Some part of her knows that as you get older, a mother will stop looking at you that way and begin to judge. Could be some self-sabotage. If I go off my hormones, then Rue will start to see my body and start to judge, and then I can self-sabotage this and we'll break up and it won't quite be my fault. It'll be Rue's fault, so I can blame her. Callie, stop playing with me. Said Coleman Domingo was behind that door. The way I would pick that lock. Daddy, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this with you guys, okay? Coleman Domingo could have anything he wants. Okay. Pestilating. Oh, what a name. Oh. Says what they dissect from these shots. Where do we think these two are? They're lost. They're lost. Khaled says they're done for now, but they do need to work on themselves. A. Barty says Rue is in the light because she has accepted the breakup, and Jules is in blue because she hasn't accepted it yet. Very interesting. I'm wondering if Rue is still living in a fantasy because, again, Rue came in here lying. No, it's fine. I'm just upset because it's Christmas time and I was just driving by. Rue's still living in that fantasy, but Jules is in blue because, man, yeah, she ain't with you. She's living in this reality, this cold, distant, bland reality. I see you. Maybe they are done for now. Maybe they are. I did notice that Jules is in a green shirt and it feels like she's floating between the blue and the yellow. She's meeting somewhere right in the middle between the reality and the fantasy. She's still somewhere in between. A little lost, but still feeling. She's still alive. Y'all, what a dissection, huh? This episode gave me so much. Like, wow. I thank you guys for being, I thank you for not being transphobic. I thank you for not having transphobia enter the chat. You guys are amazing. You guys are incredible. This is a love room. We do not do bigotry. We do not do preferences. We don't do that here. We accept and love everybody. It's a love room. It's a love chat. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much. I think this episode was powerful. If you're willing to go there with your own dark feelings, those shadows, you can learn something from it. You can challenge yourself. Once we hit on that abandonment, mama leaving, that was definitely a wound of mine. I had to just put a little toe and get back out. Put a little toe and get back out. I've done a lot of the work. I've done a lot of the healing work with my abandonment shadow. I feel good about where I'm at and who I am, what I does. I am JustLatasha. This has been a live dissection of Euphoria. I am here every Monday evening live, 6 p.m. EST. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel so you guys see new videos. Hit the notification bell so you guys know when a new video is popping up. YouTube will go ahead and send you an email. Let's hit this thumbs up. Let's change this algorithm. Let's let YouTube know you really, really like this content so they uplift and promote my videos on their platform. Huh? This Sunday, I'm going live only with my patrons exclusively. And I will be speaking to Simi Moonlight. You guys know where she is, the beauty, the brains, the mind, the voice box of this generation. Simi Moonlight will be joining me for Boozy Brunch Sunday, a very special episode. I will also be joined by Court Kim, the journalist, the curve model, the beauty, brilliant woman, my personal friends. We're going to be doing a chat with Black culture. We're going to be talking about Danny Lay's Yellow Bone song, which hit Twitter. We're going to be doing a critique and a love and a review of Jasmine Sullivan's Hotels. And we're going to be doing whatever big story pops up in Black culture this week. We're going to tackle it. You guys don't want to miss that. Patreon.com/JustLatasha. The following Sunday, February 7th, I will be dissecting exclusively, only on Patreon, Malcolm and Marie, the Netflix movie starring Zendaya and John Washington. And I will be joined by none other than the great mind, the feminine power herself, Aisha K. Faines. You know her, you love her. You see, the Grapevine TV, still killing everything. She is joining me for the Malcolm and Marie, the dissection. Follow me on social media. I am JustLatasha on Instagram, JustLatasha404 on Twitter. Please fill the chat up with hearts on the way out. This is a love room. We know how we feel here. This is Black love. This is Black acceptance. This is Black brilliance. Y'all minds work with mine every Monday night. Y'all do the damn thing. Y'all crack jokes. We have a good time over here. I appreciate you so much. So much. It's not more I can say. The content is hitting. The brilliance is hitting. The curls are pumping. Not the front. I burned it a little bit in my flat iron. But it's a great world over here. Thank you so much. I will see you guys on Thursday for Piece of Script, a little bite-sized dissection for that ass. And I'm getting up out of here. Okay. Bye, y'all.